Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Gossips. This is my recap for the anime Attack on Titan. Have you ever felt your heart race so fast that it starts to hurt? Imagine this. You're safe behind giant walls, believing nothing can touch you, until a massive titan suddenly crashes through the walls and turns your world upside down. In this story, that nightmare becomes reality. The story begins with a boy named Eren Yeager who is sleeping under a tree. He has a nightmare about destruction and giant titans devouring people and wakes up in shock. He sees his friend named Mikasa beside him. Mikasa tells him they should go back home. Still half awake, Eren asks what they are doing in the forest. He feels like he had a really long dream or something, but he can't remember. You know how most of us forget our dreams as kids, but we insist we had a dream. Surprisingly, unknown to Eren himself, he is crying. Meanwhile, in the Shingeki district, a priest explains how it is God's great wisdom that the walls are built, and it is his divine work. He says that no one must be allowed to defile the walls. It is everyone's belief for peace and security that it is almost like a law to remain within the walls, because the walls are indeed a stronghold, and they feel safe in them. It's safe unless a giant naked titan decides it's time for a surprise visit. On their way back home, Eren asks Mikasa not to tell anyone that he was crying. She agrees but worries about him crying for no real reason. She tells him to have his dad give him a checkup, but Eren declines immediately. But one of the soldiers who guides the gate, named Hans, overhears them and asks Eren why he is crying. Eren denies it and says that Hans is drunk. However, Hans invites him to join him with the other soldiers. Eren gets shocked, as soldiers are drinking in broad daylight as if they have no work. Hans tells him they have been stuck there all day, so they end up getting hungry and thirsty while guiding the city gate. Hearing this, Eren gets angry and asks if they will be able to fight in that condition if something happens. Hans acts like he doesn't know what he means. But Eren tells him that he is talking about if the Titans break the walls and get into the city. I think they will just throw empty bottles at them. One of the soldiers joins them and tells Eren they will take care of it if Titans break down the walls. He also reminds him that nothing has happened once in the last 100 years. Eren gets angry and tells him his dad, Dr. Yeager, says there's nothing more dangerous than being complacent like that. Except maybe trusting your ex with your Netflix password. Hans knows Dr. Yeager, as he once saved their town from an epidemic, so his words can't be denied. However, he believes that their 50-meter-tall walls are safe enough for them, as the Titans can't get inside. Hearing this, Eren becomes angry that the soldiers are a little too relaxed. But Hans makes it look like that is the best option for peace. But to Eren, staying in the walls and just eating and sleeping basically makes them cattle. The other soldiers laugh at him, but Hans watches the little boy in shock, realizing that Eren wants to join the scout regiment. Well, he knows that joining the scouts is basically like signing up for a Titan Buffet membership. They start walking towards their home. Mikasa tells Eren to forget about joining the scout regiment, but Eren doesn't listen to her advice. When they reach the town, everything seems normal, but suddenly the city bell rings as the scout regiment returns. Eren gets happy at that moment because he knows the city gate will finally be opened. And then he drags Mikasa along with him to go and see the heroes return. The people of the city have already gathered to listen to the report of the soldiers. The whole place is so crowded that Eren and Mikasa have to climb on boxes to see the soldiers. Soon, they spot the scout regiment returning from a mission beyond the walls. Eren smiles at the commander named Erwin in admiration, but he gives him a heartbreaking look in return. Unfortunately, the soldiers' expressions already show there's no good news. With that, Eren's smile fades away in seconds. These are supposed to be the bravest of the brave, the ones who dare to face Titans outside the safety of the walls. But the ones who make it back are bloodied, beaten, broken, and the soldiers have missing limbs. The crowd stares in silence and disappointment. Some people begin to blame them for leaving the city and going outside the wall in the first place. An old woman then comes to the soldiers and begins to say that she can't find her son named Moses, as he is also part of the soldiers that go outside the walls. She asks about her son, but instead of showing her son, the soldier brings something and puts it in her hand. When she unwraps it, it is the hand of her dear son. That is the only part the soldiers can retrieve from the war. Moses' mother breaks down into tears. She can't believe she just lost her dear son and won't even see his body. But she then asks if her son is helpful even if he doesn't achieve direct greatness. His death would have helped humanity fight back. As much as the captain wants to agree, he says that their latest scouting mission just like all the other missions, achieves nothing at all. They don't even find anything about the Titans. Everyone is extremely shocked and disappointed at the same time. After the soldiers leave from there, one of the men mocks that their taxes are basically going to feed the Titans. Hearing this, Eren gets annoyed and hits the man on his bald head. The bald man gets angry and runs after him. Seeing that Eren is getting himself into trouble, Mikasa quickly drags him away to a hidden place. Mikasa keeps dragging him until they reach a safe place, and she throws him against the wall. All his firewood scatters all over the place, but Mikasa doesn't seem to care about it at that moment. She asks him if he has changed his mind about joining the scout regiment. He gets shocked, but ignores the question and asks her to help him pick up his firewood. After a while, the two of them finally return home. Eren drops the firewood that he has been carrying all day, and his mom is impressed as he works really hard. However, Eren's mom knows he is lying because his ear is red. His dad is also ready to leave for work, and he tells them it will take a couple of days before he returns. Just then, Mikasa tells Eren's parents about his dream of joining the scout regiment. Eren gets angry as he has already told Mikasa not to say anything about it to his parents. Hearing this, his dad still seems calm, but his mom begs him not to do it, as many people have been eliminated outside of the walls. Eren's dad, named Eren Yeager, asks him why he wants to go out of the walls. Eren replies that he wants to know what the outside world is like and doesn't want to live his entire life in ignorance inside the walls. Also, if no one else is willing to take their place, then the lives of all who've died will be for nothing. Hearing what he says, Grisha gets undeniably proud of him. He says his boat is about to leave, and so he has to leave too. Eren's mom can't believe her husband won't scold Eren and just leave like that. She asks him to talk some sense into Eren. Calmly, Grisha mentions that his words cannot hold back human curiosity. He tells Eren that he's leaving for a few days on the trip, but when he returns, he promises to show Eren what's in the basement. He also shows the key to the basement to him, and Eren gets super excited hearing this. With that, his father leaves from there, and Eren's mom warns Eren again not to join the scout regiment as it's a stupid idea. Eren rudely says to his mom that, in his opinion, people who don't mind living like livestock are the stupid ones. And after saying this, he runs off from there. His mom tells Mikasa to always be there to protect Eren, as he gets himself into trouble so easily, and Mikasa agrees to it. Meanwhile, some boys are bullying a boy named Armin for talking about the outside world. They say it's heretical, but he tells them he is telling the truth and they know it. That's why they resort to violence, because they can't argue back. The bullies admit he is a smart ass and want to give him a beating, but Eren screams from afar and charges toward them. The bullies get ready to give him the worst beating of his life, like they usually do. But suddenly, they notice Mikasa is behind Eren, and they flee like she's the final boss in a video game. Eren boasts that they fled because of him, but Armin quickly gives him a reality check and says it's because of Mikasa that they ran off, not for him. Armin explains to them what happened that caused the bullying, and that gets Eren wondering why everyone looks down on people for wanting to go outside. Armin reveals that they have been at peace for 100 years by staying inside the walls, and so going out carelessly could invite the Titans inside. The royal government's policies have made having any interest in the outside world a taboo. Eren asks why they can't risk their own lives for what they want. Mikasa interrupts at this point and tells him he can't. Eren reminds her that she told his parents about him joining the scout regiment. Armin asks what they said, and he tells him they were less than pleased. Armin already knows they can't. He wonders why everyone thinks they can be safe in the walls forever just because the walls haven't fallen for 100 years, as it doesn't guarantee that the walls won't fall today. Suddenly, a thunder roars and the ground starts trembling. Everyone, including Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, runs toward the direction to see what is going on. Everyone looks up and gets really scared. Their greatest fear appears before their eyes as a titan more than 50 meters high appears there. The colossal titan then kicks the Maria wall and makes a hole through it. The buildings collapse and the people run for their lives. Though the gap in the wall is narrow, the small titans begin to come inside the walls. The people start to scream and run for their lives as their uninvited guests come in. Eren and Mikasa run toward their home in panic, leaving Armin behind. Armin knows it's finally over, as countless titans are going to overrun the city. Meanwhile, buildings are collapsing and families scream for their loved ones. When Eren and Mikasa finally reach their house, it's already too late, as their house is crushed, and under the wreckage, Eren's mom is trapped. She's alive, but her legs are crushed under the debris. As the Titan appears, she knows what's coming. So she begs the kids to run away from there. Eren and Mikasa try to lift the debris, but they are just kids, so they can't do it. Eren says he'll get her out, but she tells him she won't be able to run even if he gets her out, as her legs are crushed under the debris. But Eren promises to carry his mom. His mom yells at him to listen to her at least for the very last time, or the three of them will die. As Hans appears there, Eren's mom begs him to save her children and leave her behind. But Hans insists on fighting the Titans. He says he will slaughter them all and save the three of them. He wants to do this to repay the favor he owes to their family. Hans tries to fight the Titan, but when he sees a Titan up close, he freezes in fear and won't even move. Hans then realizes how risky the game he is about to play will be. He puts away his sword, grabs the children, and runs from there. Eren screams and tells him to put him down, as he wants to save his mom. But Hans knows better that some fights can't be won. Eren's mom is happy that her children will survive, and the memories of the time they spent together flood in. As they are escaping, Eren looks back and sees a female Titan lift his mom from the debris as if she is nothing, and then put her straight into its mouth. Eren watches this in horror. That day, humanity is suddenly reminded of the terror of being at the mercy of the Titans and of the humiliation of being trapped inside a cage. And that's the end of the video. Please comment and let me know if you want a recap of the next episode of this anime. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.